Good evening, everyone. My name is Someshwar. I welcome all of you on behalf of Art of Living organization to Yog Vaashishtha इवनिंग सेशन। नमस्ते, मैं सोमेश्वर आप सभी का आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग संस्था की तरफ से योग वाशिष्ठ के सायंकाल के सत्र में स्वागत करता हूँ। रोज की तरह आज के सत्र की शुरुआत हम लोग 3 बार ओमकार से करेंगे। We also have Sangeeta ji with us, our Guru Puja Pandit. So we'll be performing the Guru Puja also today. So let's begin our session by chanting Om 3 times. Today we are on day 94. आज हम लोग 94 सत्र पे पहुंच चुके हैं। अपने सारे जूम के पार्टिसिपेंट, अपने सारे फेसबुक के व्यूवर्स, अपने सारे यूट्यूब के व्यूवर्स, इन सभी का भी आज के इस सत्र में स्वागत है। चलिए तो आज के सत्र की शुरुआत 3 बार ओमकार के उच्चारण करते हैं। लेट अस ऑल क्लोज अवर आईज, आंखें बंद कर लें, आराम से बैठ जाएं। लेट्स सिट कंफर्टेबली, स्पाइन इरेक्ट, shoulders relax, neck straight, and let's bring back our attention to our breath. Breathe in and let go. Take one more deep breath and breathe out. Breathe in for Omkar chanting. गुरु का आवाहन कर ले। आवाहनम 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 पुनः पुनः। Let's express our gratitude to the master. गुरु वंदना कर ले। गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरु से प्रार्थना कर ले। Whatever the words that we speak, whatever the actions that are happening, whatever the thoughts hovering onto the mind, The power of discrimination arises in our intellect. The impressions that might be getting created on the memory. And if still there is an iota of that I, me. Let all that be inspired by the Master alone. If you have already experienced that liberation, that mukti, moksha, nirvana, let this remaining life, and if I have to come back here again to express our gratitude, spread this knowledge, or to serve this world, let all that be inspired by the Master alone. Feel the presence of the Master within and outside. And slowly and gradually, you may open your eyes. धीरे धीरे अपनी प्यारी सी आंखें खोल सकते हो. After listening to the knowledge of Shiva, which was given to Vaashishtha Muni, listening to all that, Rama comes into gratitude, and today he will express his gratitude towards whatever he has received. So why not we also express our gratitude by singing the glory of the Master? Let us all do that. Sangeeta ji, over to you. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Someshwarji, and a warm welcome to all of you for the evening session of Yog Vaashishtha. We will be doing the Guru Puja, but before Guru Puja, we will be doing alternate nostril breathing. So let's sit straight, spine erect, left hand in Chin Mudra on your lap, and we will start doing Nari Shodhan Pranayama. And whenever you complete this round, you may relax, keeping both your hands on your knees and being in gratitude. We will be singing the glory of the Master, keeping your eyes closed. Sada Shiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmat Shri Guru Pariyanta Vande Guru Parampara. Apavitra pavitro va sarva vastangato viva Yasmare Pundali Kaksham सभाख्यासन्तरशुचिः आवाहनम् नारायणं पात्मभवं वसिष्ठं सत्किं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौरपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमठासशिष्यम् श्री शंकराचार्य मठास्य पद्मपालं हस्तामरकण्ठशिष्यं तन्त्रोतकं वादिककारमन्यान् अस्मत्गुरुं सन्ततमानतोऽसि श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं वादनायनं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः यद्वारे निखिलानिलिम्बपरिषत् सिद्धिं विवस्थे निशम् श्रीमच्छ्रीलसितं जगद्गुरुपदं नत्वात्मतृप्तिं तका लोकाज्ञानपयोदपातनतुरं श्रीशङ्करं शर्मदं ब्रह्मानन्दसरस्वतीं गुरुवरं ध्यायामि ज्योतिर्मयम् आवाहनं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आसनं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। स्नानं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। वस्त्रं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। चन्दनं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। अक्षर्तां समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। पुष्पं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। धूपं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। दीपं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आचमनीयं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। नैवेद्यं समर्पया श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आचमनीयं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। ताम्बूलं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। श्रीफलं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आरातिक्यं कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। हारातिक्यं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। आचमनीयं समर्पयामि श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। पुष्पाञ्जलिं। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्त्वं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। श्री ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं विश्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणसहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि श्री श्री गुरुचरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। Slowly and gradually you may open your eyes. Jai Gurudev. Over to you, Someshwar.
जय गुरुदेव संगीता जी, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट ब्लिसफुल। आंखें खोलने का मन ही नहीं कर रहा था, नॉट एबल टू ओपन द आईज। दैट इज द ब्लिस ऑफ singing the glory of the master. Thank you so much. We are so blessed to be in your presence, to be in the presence of the master. Feeling really, really grateful. Thank you so much. So let us continue with our session. Today we are on day 94 and today we are on chapter number 67. So this is where Vaashishtha Muni, after listening to the knowledge of Shiva, and the same knowledge is been passed on to Rama. Rama is the one, and the entire court is listening to all this knowledge. And this is where Rama start expressing. This is where that Swatma Shiva, listening to that knowledge of Swatma Shiva. Here Rama now says that I am so blessed. I'm so, the way we express our gratitude towards the master, that master has come into our life, and since then this entire life has been completely transformed. We have been walking on this path along with master, walking in the footstep of a master. So this is where the Rama, also listening to this, is now expressing to Vaashishtha, hey Bhagwan, the vivechan that you have done now, I could really feel that Swatma Shiva, that Shiva, which is Swa Atma, so Atma Shiva Swarup, that listening to all that, I am really, really feeling very grateful. I could feel, I now realize, now I know that whatever that Purna Trupti, that complete contentment is there, that I can achieve, only through this walking on this path. All the questions that I had, all the doubts that were hovering onto my mind, all the ashas, hopes, all these things, I am completely free from that now. This, my mind, just like there is this Vishwakarma, and if that Vishwakarma is having that will on which, they we do know that thing, the way the diamond is polished, that polishing will. So like that, on that polishing will, all these things, I have completely become completely submerged myself. My mind is completely submerged into my own self, and then it has become like a sun, that light, that sunlight which is there, which is completely free from any impurity. It's completely Shuddha, it's completely pure. I am really experiencing like that. So now in this state, I could experience that the way the Meru Parvat, the Meru Parvat is like, just like it is completely like a gold. So if we look at the gold itself is not, doesn't take any pride of being gold, but the one who wears that gold, they feel that, okay, they are wearing an ornament. It gives that pleasure to it. Like that, this Atma, this self, is making us shine. So I could feel that now I have become that. What are the other things that are being said and told? I really do not have anything to go towards that. No, Akansha, right? Anutsuk means I am not really curious to know. That curiosity is also now completely fulfilled. Now in this Charachar, in this entire Srishti, the omnipresence, the omnipotent of this, whatever is that, something which I perceive through my five senses, and these things, there is nothing that, and nothing to be understood, there is nothing to be dropped. That state, that equanimous state, He Mune, He Prabhu is addressing to Vashishtha Muni, that Amrita Prapti, that nectar, that Amrita Prapti, that nectar, I have, just like in the Shira Sagar, there was this Manthan of Mandar Parvat. How does the Mandar, that Mandar mountain, become stable, just remain stable? I have achieved that state now, that I have also completely become stable now. This Bodhamrut, this Bodh, this knowledge, this realization, which is like a nectar, I have got in, and then I have stopped wandering here and there and established in a peace. Then just like the one who is thirsty and the one who is hungry, and the one who is in a sorrow and the one who is in an entanglement, all these different things, just like it appears like a wave, in the ocean, in this Bhavasagar, means in this entire universe, all these things appears to be completely destroyed, completely removed from my system. And just like any Tattadrishta, the one who has like a realized soul, they do all these other illusions, whatever is there, they are completely removed from my system. So I could experience that Bhumananda, I could experience that Niratisha, means there is no Vishaya, there is Nirvishaya, Nirvikar. That being is that I have experienced now. Now if you look at me, there are no desires that are left. In this sansara, in this sansara, in this vicious life cycle of death and birth, all these things, whatever it could do, now that bhava, that thing towards the divinity, that concepts of divinity is also being made very clear to me, that I could now realize it is that Atman, it is that Brahman, it is that Shiva, no? It is that Guru. All these things are not different. They are the only one. And because of that, all the other things like the sorrow, the entanglement, all the vikaras, no, kama, krodha, lobha, mada, matsara, all this greed, entanglement, anger, all these things are completely removed out of my system. And then the viveka, the power of discrimination, that pragya, that has dawned, no, all the qualities, human ethics, that has dawned in me. And then I am just feeling very blissful to this. Now, like this, he expresses, Rama expresses his gratitude towards whatever the knowledge that he has received. So now, after listening to this gratitude, no, word of thanks from Rama, Vaashishtha Muni addresses him that all this, where the entanglement is not there, all these five senses which are continued to do its duties, no, and then they get entangled into all these other five senses and its outward going tendency, dropping all the kartutva views, that dropping all that doership, nothing is there. That state of your mind, that is worth having it. And once one have achieved that earth, how can one get this ananda, this temporary pleasures which we seek from the five senses and its outward going tendencies? It is very obvious that this will get dropped automatically. One will not go. Gurudev says, no, that sannyasa, that vairagya will automatically dawn. No, once that is done, automatically you need not drop even this. They will automatically leave you. Your mind will never go there. No, that is what Vaashishtha Muni says. That then he continues that all these temporary pleasures, all this kshanik ichha and this kshanik shanti, there is something which we experience in between the pockets, something which we experience, that temporary pleasure. So it is all this happens, that whatever you the people, objects, situation that you are waiting for, according to your ichha, according to your wish, according to your desire, once you get that, you seems to get and santosha, that trupti, that contentment, just for a moment. That's it. The very next moment, something else, some other ichha, some other desire will arise in you, and you will not able to enjoy that ananda, that trupti, that contentment, that santosha, that happiness, mudita, even for few moments. It will just go away, and you will again, the next thing will come into picture. And the same thing that goes through with your everything, that vishayas, not with just any things. Now, all the things, that the sense of your sight, the sense of your touch, the sense of your taste, the sense of your hearing, all these different senses and its outward tendencies, whatever it will give you pleasure, it will just temporary. Will completely temporary, knowing this, that this kshanik, this very momentary pleasure, temporary pleasure, is what one needs to drop in their life, and automatically drop that tyaga, just drop that. Like this, we need not tell the wise one, the one who is wise, we need not tell them to do this. They are aware about this. Other than that, the moment one thing is there, other things will automatically dawn. So Rama, any point of time, this Atma Swarup, that knowledge about the self, one should not forget. At every point of time, just say Puna Puna, again and again, every moment, just having with your breath, focusing on your breath, that in and out, because it is there 24/7 with us, reminding ourselves again and again, is the one that is real. This is what the Vivechan, this is what the things that I keep telling people. No? How do I keep telling? We have saw that once upon a time that Vaashishtha Muni raised his hand, Urdhvagami, both hands he raised, and he said that, come on, I am telling you so many times, I repeat the same thing so many times. Don't you see that effort that I put? No, with the bottom of his heart, he tells all these things. He expresses this, and That is the reason. And what is the reason behind telling all these things, Rama? It is purely because people can get it. No? They can really get it. So then he says that this is the chitta, this mind. This mind itself is the root cause of creation of this universe, this sansara, this jagat, this universe is the creation of this mind. The moment this chitta gets into that vishayas, that chaitya, that outgoing big tendencies, it just starts imagining multiple things. No? It will imagine about this, it will imagine about that. It is just like a dream. In the dream, we imagine about the objects, situation, people, and various things, and we link them with each other, and we keep on going on fantasizing about the things. It is exactly the same thing that has happened here. Now it will imagine about the prana, it will imagine about the vasana, then it will take in the form of a jiva, it will take birth, and then it will keep on continuing to this thing. So understanding the Guru Updesh, the knowledge, the Guru Vachana that has been given, understanding the literature, the Shastras that has been given, no, and then doing your sadhana, whatever the practices that you are doing, and having that sanyama, having that patience, having that sanyama, dhyana, dharana, samadhi combined together, it's called sanyam. Having that sanyam together in life with the drudha nishchaya, no, it's very good to drop this. No, that is what is worth for us to follow and these things. Now, various aspects that I'll give few examples to you. How does one can really see? So now he is telling the various examples here that to explain these things furthermore. He says that just like there is this copper is there, and someone with a lot of effort, that copper is converted into gold. But at the end of the day, if we say that, hey Rama, that this mananash means the if no mind condition, this never mind condition, no, this destroying this mind, it doesn't really mean that in reality the mind is completely destroyed. That mind is still there, but that mind is completely, that chitta, that astitva of that is still there, but it is completely transformed. Its name is changed. It is now called Atma Bodh. Now that thing is called that self-realization. It has taken the form of that viveka, that pragya, that power of discrimination, that intellect which is now full of viveka. No, it knows what is temporary, what is permanent. No, it knows now what is the knowledge, no, real knowledge. What is it that you are just perception? What is the real knowledge? No? Real and unreal. That thing has gone. It is that pure peace, that experience of peace have dawned. No, all that shat sampatis, all those wealths, that wealth have now dawned. So it is just in the mind. It's not that mind is completely destroyed. It has just changed its name. It has just changed its form now. But still, that mind is there, and let it be. That's okay. No, so as it gets into the earlier mind which was running after all these things, it was into that tamas and rajas, no, those inertias and those activity that I want to do, and then I do it. All these things have diminished, and it has now transformed itself into sattva, that purity, something which is completely pure. No, the impurity is not there. So like that, it remains. No, so this one Brahman, this one Shiva, that is what remains. And then everywhere, if we see that Chit Swarup, that getting into that Turiya Avastha or the Turiyatit Avastha, you will find only that Chit Swarup in this entire Jagat, in entire universe. If you go and see, you'll find only that thing alone. Then he continues that this Rama, this Chit Rup Bij, means the root of that thing is just Chit, that this, once we understand this Jagat, this entire thing is unreal. Karnasan, I will tell you one very miraculous story here. Rochak, very miraculous, very interesting story here, fact here. So he said, somewhere, some way, there is one this transparent spatic, like a diamond. No, this is spatic. This is there. If you touch it, it will appear like a very soft in nature, and then it will also appear very finishing touch is there. No, that is what is. Then that is very, very big. It is present. It's Amaryad. No, it's very big. no, very big Mahashila. There is this very stone like this diamond like stone which is there. No, then it is so dense that there is not even an iota of any hole is there. There is nothing. It's not even a worm. We say that there is a fracture is like very hair like fracture. Even that kind of fracture is not there. It is complete in itself. No, it is there. Then it is very stationary. It never moves from its place. Then it doesn't get into all these things. And then there is just like there is a lotus that is there in a lake like that. There are many lotus flowers are carved in that. No, and then there are like lotus buds. There are many these shankhas are there. No, all these different diagrams or different akrutis. No, these forms are carved in that stone. So then he says that he continues that some of them are having roots, some of them are not having roots. No, so this is like it appears there. It is like that they are getting formed and then they are getting destroyed there. That is how it appears. Then some of them are having its lotus in the upward direction, some of them are in the downward direction, just like our Bhu Patal means Bhulok is there, Swargalok is there, Patalok is there, just like that. Then some of them are without any roots, just like the Shivalok, the Vishnu Lok, Ityadilok, they are just there. No, it's not, it doesn't have any support as they're hanging. So it's like that. Then this also that has certain things like, no, there are so many different things. So there are so many like the nakshatra, no, all these planets and all these things, different things which are there. So now on this seat, Rama responds to Vaashishtha Muni says that, Bhagwan, I have seen one Shila in the Shaligram. Now there is this kshetra called Shaligram. I have seen such one, and it is completely encircled with all the lotus flowers and all that. So probably Vaashishtha Muni says, yes, you can now imagine, you can compare those, what the example that I am telling you with what you have seen in the Shaligram. What is to be compared here? Now he compares that with the Atmagyana. So he said that if you look at that, and if you look at this universe, and if you look at the Brahma, the Swarup of Brahma, now it is something similar to that Shila, something similar to that stone, diamond like stone. So that if you look at it in this Srishti also, if you look at everywhere, there is not even iota of gap is there. It is all full of that Akash Tattva. It is all full of Brahma. It is full of Shiva. If you see, that Jayashree ji was telling this as an example, that Gurudev was talking when she visited Navaratri. In the ashram, he said that close your eyes, and then whatever you see is that darkness. Now that darkness is Shiva. And the moment you open your eyes, that you see that light is the Shakti. Means whatever you see here, there is nothing else other than Shiva. It is the Shiva or Shakti. It is there. So there is not iota of gap everywhere. No, everywhere it is that only. Similar to that. No, there is not even an iota of space is there. Not even like atom. Then this Akash Kosha. Today also Gurudev was conducting meditation, and he said that there is nothing else. Even if he appears something to you as a solid. No? But if you go deeper into that, even if you go and get deeper into the atom also, atom itself is a very small. But if you go insert into atom also, you will find that it has this electron, proton and neutron, and the difference between them, the space between them, the distance is equivalent to the galaxies, the planets and the sun and all the other planets, and difference between them, the galaxies. That much distance is there if you see relatively. No? So what is there then? What is it that matter is what we are calling? It is all space. It is all just that. So where is the iota of that matter? Where is that? Is that matter also, if you go deeper into it, you will find it is just a field of energy, just a string. It is just that Shakti which is there. So he compares with that Shila. No? So if you say that, if you see that Pashana, means that stone. Now all these different forms, the lotus, the lotus buds, and other things, can we really say that they are not Pashana, that they are not stone, even though we see that in the one particular form, and we call it, okay, see, there is a lotus, and we say this is lotus bud. But can we not ultimately, is it not the stone? Of course, it is, even though we see it in a particular form also, ultimately it is just a stone only. But it is just kalpana, it's just in our imagination that we see some form in that and we say, okay, see, lotus is there, see, the lotus bud is there. No, it is our imagination. In reality, it is just a partial, it is just a stone. He compares this analogy with this Jagat also. So this is exactly what happens. Everywhere, everything is Shiva only. There is nothing else than Brahma. It is only Shiva. It is only Brahma. The name also you don't name. We only call it with some name here and there. But in reality, whatever name you give, one time you call Brahma, one time you call Shiva, other thing you will call Sangita, Someshwar, bottle, book, computer, whatever the name you call, ultimately what that is. Ultimately, it is that Pashan only. It is that stone only. It is that Shiva. It is that Brahman only. Nothing else other than that. Then this concept of this world, whatever it appears, it is nothing but Brahman, becomes very obvious, becomes very clear, because we see the different forms in the stone, carved stone, but at the end of the day, what that is, a stone only. So like this, so when somebody is talking about something about the knowledge, and if the words itself is not there, no, so how is that? So that shabda, which is not there, and this still one, what is the use of that one? It is all that is no the same. Then this is just an anubhuti. So this will just give you an anubhuti, and that jani, that awareness, that alertness. No, just I am there everywhere. That remains. No, that is what worth in life. So then he continues to explain few more things. So what happens when actually gets into this, whatever the things, that objects that we see outside, it is that padartha. There is no padartha, there is a bhava of padartha. Actually the matter itself is not there. We spoke about this. So he continues that it is like that Brahma Tattva in that Shila Kamalvil. It is okay. We have seen this, all these things. No? So wherever you see that there is nothing else other than that Chaitanya. So yes, Rama. So when these things is there, just like that Sushupti Avastha is there, like that is Sarva Sattatmak. It is only that your Chaitanya. It is that you will see this appear, this Jagat Vilas, whatever the things you appear to you as a different objects, people, situation, planets, this universe, whatever it appears to you, you will understand it is just a vasana matra. It is just a imaginary, kalpit, only things. You will say that it is everywhere. You will just only see that Shiva, that Brahman. Then he also gives one more example of that ocean and the drop. So if that drop says, I want to remain on my own, will it cease to? No? Will it exist? It will cease to exist, that drop. No? But the moment that drop gets inside the ocean, it becomes the ocean. Then can we say that the ocean have dried? We can always say that, oh, there was a drop here, the drop is dried. Drop lost its existence. Can we say that ocean is dried? No, ocean can never, because it's just the tattva, that principle which was there in that drop is the same tattva, the same principle is the same. There is also water, and the ocean is also water. But the moment it submerged itself, just change the name from drop to water, it becomes the ocean, and then ocean remains. No, it just remains like that. So it is that beautiful. The moment you say that I am Jiva, I am separate from Shiva, you will disappear just like that. And not the ones you have disappeared a number of times. How? Just like the bubble that comes, and then the bubble comes in the water, and then on the surface it comes and destroys. No, many times you have popped up like a bubble and you have destroyed. No, just by saying that I am that Jiva, I am that Jiva, I am that Jiva. The moment you understand and realize this, that I am that ocean, I am that thing, then you get it. No, then your astitva of that Jiva is nowhere. Then what remains is Shiva. What remains is Brahman. That is the real. So that is the one. The Vaashishtha Muni says that this Veda Bhava, this thing that you see, I am this, I am that, this is good, this is bad. No, this is mine, this is yours. No, all these things will automatically disappear, and then what will remain is that Sushupta Avastha. Then all your Vyavaharas, all your Prapta Vyavaharas, you will continue to do just like that only. This is so beautiful. So then he continues that once someone have realized this thing, then he also gives one more example here of the peacock and its egg. Now this is not just a peacock and egg, any egg you for that matter you take. So they says that this egg have that rust in it, have that liquid in it. No, so when it is that liquid, it contains everything that this peacock will now become a peacock later. No, the egg will hatch and the peacock will come out, and then peacock will have all these different colors. It will have eyes, it will have that it's big, and it will have a leg, and it will have the wings and all that. The root of that in a very dense format that is there, is present in that egg. Now it's the same thing with our DNA also. It's the same thing with our the way mammals give the birth. No, it is that sperm, that egg. It has all the qualities that is required. No, it has everything. And what is it, that qualities which is there? What is it that is there in your DNA? What is it there in that egg? What is it there in that sperm and that egg in the woman, and which combine together and form? It is that self. It is that Atma Tattva, which is omnipresent, which is so it is there everywhere, which gives the source. It is the source of that all knowledge. It is the source of all that Panchendriya, Karmendriya, all that colors that will be taken like this. All these things will continuously remain. So in all the padarthas, in all the vastus, in all the objects that we see, it is the same. It is the same tattva which is there. So he continues that the one who really experienced this fact, through multiple examples I have told you, the moment you realize that other than Atma, other than yourself, nothing else is there, then one really establish themselves into that Ananda Rupa, into that blissful, into that Brahman, into that Shiva. Not a physical form, Vishnu, Brahmadev, Shankarji, not in something which is beyond the imagination, something which is beyond the name. Now you will establish into that only. Because of this only, he says all these munis, these Devagan, all these Siddha Maharshis, they establish into themselves, and then they experience this Bhumananda, Paramananda, Chidananda, is all these things. That is what has been said here. So like this Brahma, like the Shiva, you do the Nishchaya. Remind yourself all these stories, all these Drishtanta, all these examples which I have shared with you. Remember them and again come back. Asangoham punaha punah. Avahan, do that avahan of that Atma, that Guru. Let it dawn. Instead of divinity is sleeping. Awake that again and again. Every moment you awaken that. This is so beautiful. This is so amazing. No? Feeling so grateful to the Master. Today also in advanced course, Gurudev conducted one meditation. After listening to all this knowledge of Yog Vaashishtha, the only thing that remains is a gratitude towards the Master. That what Gurudev have given us. We can't even, our small little intellect, small little logic can't even see what is been given to us. The only thing that remains is gratitude. That only thing that remains is an wow factor. So Gurudev was conducting this meditation. So there is this shloka, Omkar Bindu Sanyuktam Nityam Dhyayanti Yoginah Kamadam Mokshadam Chaiva Omkaraya Namo Namaha. And this whole meditation was based on that thing, that Omkara Bindu, that Omkara. that this mind, this thing, this whole, this structure is so entangled into outside. When it eyes are open, it gets entangled into the outer world. When you close your eyes, that time also it gets entangled into your own fantasies in the dream. So Gurudev conducted a meditation where your eyes are not fully open also, and they are not fully closed also. They are somewhere in between. No, we say that ardhon milit, no, ardhan milit eyesight. We are just looking at the things, they are very close and not really fully closed also. So neither you are inside, neither you are outside. Such a beautiful thing. That discrimination of going yourself inside. He said that everywhere it is same only. That Shiva Tattva, that Brahma Tattva, it is there everywhere, outside also and inside also. Where is it that you want to go from outside to inside? He said, go, be in that Shiva Avastha. Neither outside nor inside. Just be in that balance, in that middle, in that sthir state. That's such an amazing meditation, I tell you. Don't feel that, okay, I have done the advanced course n number of time, this and that. Ashivaya says, na bhuto na bhavishyati. This moment, yes, kshan, this moment, what we are now listening, enjoying our each other's presence, enjoying the presence of the master, experiencing that gratitude together, going through this knowledge, this moment is not going to come back in history. It was not there in the past. Na bhuto, na bhavishyati. It is this course, this moment is happening right now, because the same state, you might be listening to the same words again, but the input that dawn, something which will dawn within, will be totally different. That experience, that anubhuti that will dawn why after listening to these words will be totally different. So what is there today, what you are listening to there today now, this moment is unique in itself. Having that realization of your own self, that other than yourself nothing else exists. Kuch hai hi nahi. There is nothing else that exists. Once we realize that, the only thing that remains is gratitude towards the master for bringing us to this path. The way Rama expresses his gratitude today towards the knowledge which Shiva has given, the knowledge which he is receiving from Vaashishtha. Feeling so grateful to the master today. Nothing else remains actually. Words are really not enough to express whatever the love that we carry for the master. That is the gratitude that we carry for the master. Grace is just flowing. What else we want really? Na kya chahiye aur? Really amazing. So I'll give a pause. I'll take a pause. अपनी वाणी को मैं यहाँ पे विश्राम दे दूंगा. I'll take a pause here so that I can hand over this session to you. Tomorrow we will be looking at chapter number 68, where the Sri Krishna and Arjun Samvad is there. So we know the Bhagavad Gita is drawn out of that. So what is there? The Yog Vaashishtha perspective of Bhagavad Gita, the Yog Vaashishtha perspective of that, we'll see that tomorrow. So हम लोग कल देखेंगे. For today now, I'd like to hand over this session to you. Whatever you feel like you would like to express, have questions, you are welcome to do that. Unmute option is already been made open. You can unmute yourself and you can speak. Over to you all. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you, Someshwar ji. That was amazing, really. With full gratitude. Today we had a really very lovely experience. How many times we have been doing that same thing, but every time it is so different. And after hearing the Yog Vaashishtha, it is even more different, that is what exactly I felt it today. More subtle we are going in. Really. That was amazing. Doing that meditation with Gurudev only, it's just like what Brahman is and what consciousness is and everything. What it is, kya puja kare or kya hum kare or kya hai, nothing remains, nothing. It's all dissolved. What we hear, subject, object, everything is just resolved with one meditation with Gurudev. It was so amazing. Yeah, with that, having that gratitude within. I would just love to say a few words. Those who are established in that peace, they experience that both, that knowledge, that amrut, that nectar, and come above with that real and unreal knowledge, but their sattva is really very high, and they are in that chitta swarup, what you call, that itself is the Brahman. And the subject and object, that is what the knower and the known, and they are above all that. And the life force is not agitated. That is a very good thing, They are so much in that tranquility. Their mind does not move at all. And even it says, the mind of the painted figures does not move. For they have abandoned the no more concepts, no more of that, having those memories with you. But they are only in that consciousness. So that is so beautiful. So my first takeaway is that have that, be in that consciousness, and which is absolutely pure and purified with above all the concepts and notions, just being in that, the purity of the self. So I would love to hand it over to Vinaji, who is with us. And my first takeaway is that we can have another. So, but now Vinaji, over to you. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. So again, whatever we have learned, that is repeated again. And it's my takeaway, if you will ask, so two things which really highlighted over here today. That is first that self-realization. How Rama is first of all becoming grateful to the master. Without being grateful, you can't achieve that higher state of consciousness. So, and then he is giving the solutions. So how to get that higher state is through the self-realization, as well as through the surrender to the master. The moment you will start becoming surrender, you become completely hollow and empty. No ego comes, no my, me comes. So you become so pure, from inside out. And contentment. These are the three things which we should have to really go higher and higher in that. So Rama also feel the same thing. Then it has been pointed out to what all, if you don't have vikaras, if you don't have the feverishness, if you don't have the it's like a prejudice mind, all these things, if you don't have, automatically you will reach to the Shiva Tattva. And without being dissolved into the Shiva Tattva, it's just impossible to experience that higher state. So that is a crux of this whole talk, which I understood, that if you really want to understand Shiva Tattva, first you have to dissolve whatever the vikaras are there, become pure inside out by thoughts, by actions, by everything. And then slowly you will find you are going into the higher consciousness, that is Shiv Tattva. And that blissful state only you can experience the samadhi. That is a whole thing. And apart from that, if you focus on your breath, which Bhushund also, he was telling repeatedly that I was just focusing on my breathing in and out, in and out. That is the ultimate thing, because it brings you in the present moment. The moment you will focus means it brings your mind in the present moment. So the more you will do the practice, the more you will brush it out, you will find your whole pattern is being cleansed up. So, and then it has been told that the mind will be changed. The quality, the nature of the mind will be changed. वो आत्मा अपने आप में वो खिल जाती है. आत्मा जो है ना वो और ज्यादा वो निखर के आती है. पहले क्या था कि जब आपको ज्ञान में नहीं होते तो आत्मा कवर्ड अप रहती है ना, it covered by the ignorance, by the darkness of the whatever that the greed and all the vikaras. But the moment you will start understanding, become aware of the whole thing, and sajakta aa jati hai, more and more awareness aati hai through the breath, just observing the breath, you will find you are just becoming the that polished one, diamond, you can say. So these are the things which has been highlighted and which is been told by Gurudev also in many a talk. But एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा, सोमेश्वर जी शायद आप बता सकें, संगीता जी बता सकें, why does it is being told that there's this, I have seen the Rama seen the rootless trees or upside down trees, and why did he say that everything is pashan? पाषाण भी तो डिसॉल्व होना है, वो तो उसको भी तो अल्टीमेटली वो तो डार्क मैटर में जाना है. तो व्हाई इट हैज बीन पॉइंटेड आउट, दीज आर द टू क्वेश्चंस व्हिच वाज echoing in my mind. So will you please throw a light on it?
Sure. Let's discuss it. So what has been said here is actually this is an analogy. We give an analogy of something, right? So this analogy is nothing but it is related to the universe, what you see, the universe and the different forms which are carved on a stone. No? So this lotus is not real lotus here. The lotus is the carved lotus. That lotus bud is not a real bud there, but it is just a carved one. Or any forms that we saw, no, Khajuraho, Ajinta, and all this. You go to the many on our temples, we'll have all those carved things on that. Now it is we see in the thing. If someone say, okay, look at that, that is a stone. Look at that, that is a stone. Are they wrong? They are not wrong. They are correct. That is stone only. But then what we do, we for our sake of understanding, because of something is there as a baggage, because somebody one point of time told us, if you see this form, it's called lotus. Someone who has not seen the lotus, he will say something is there, I don't know what that is. Okay, stone is there. So for it is just a stone. But the one who has seen the lotus earlier, we'll call it stone only, right? If you go and see, okay, you go and see that there is a water. What we'll say, there is a water. But if the water is given in the different shapes, we put the same water in the different shapes, we'll say, oh, it is in this shape now. No? So we will see the shape because we have seen the lotus earlier, and we are calling now that Pashana, that stone, it has some shape. It is lotus is there. No? And then the lotus bud is there. But ultimately what it is. So this same thing, for if this becomes very difficult to understand, you take an example of gold. This example is also comes many times. See what you see, that you are wearing some any jewelry made of about gold. Now if someone says, okay, what is this jewelry? This is a ring. Someone will say, okay, this is a ring if you are wearing it here. So what is this there? It is something which is to be, it is there in your leg which you are wearing. Any jewelry for that matter. So what we'll say, it is, we'll say with that jewelry name, whatever the jewelry name is there, which we understand as it is. But is it not still a gold? It is still a gold. You just need to see that, okay, what is there? It is a gold only at the end of the day. So it's the same thing like Pashan. It's the Pashan only. Ultimately, even though you have given some form to it. No, but ultimately it's a Pashan only. So similarly, it says this analogy of this gold and this stone, if applied to the real thing, real means to the Atman, to the self. He says that whatever you see outside, to you it appears as, okay, if you look at me, you will see Someshwar. If you look at Sangeeta ji, you'll say Sangeeta ji, because You have been introduced and you will see my figure as Someshwar. But at one level, I can see, you can say, Binaji can say, look at that, he is the Atma. Look at that, Sangeeta ji, she is the Atma. So every object, people and situation in life, what we see as only the Swarupa of that only. This is the knowledge that is explained in the analogy, given an analogy form. So that is the answer to the first question. What was the second question? Yeah. Unmute yourself, please.
I still have the doubt. Why? Because गुरुदेव भी बोलते हैं और भी जगह मैंने जहाँ पढ़ा है कि this world is made up of tarangas. In that context, I am talking.
Binaji, you are right in that context. That is a string theory. That is definitely we all relate to that. Understand? This is, don't take it as a thing. It is an analogy. Analogy क्या होता है? जिसको रूपक
analogy है, पर वो पाषाण से ही क्यों दिया?
हाँ, मैंने रिमूव कर दिया. Take it with a gold. See it in a gold also. Same analogy.
नहीं, पर क्या योग वशिष्ठ में पाषाण ही लिखा हुआ है?
हाँ ना, that's what I'm saying. If that is, see, our aim is what? Our aim is to clear our doubts. Our aim is to understand the crux of it. No, our aim is to that हंस होता है ना, वो दूध पी लेता है, right? Next, अमृत पी लेता है. हमारा aim क्या है? एक example से समझ नहीं आता, go to the another example. Just leave it. Why they have taken only पाषाण का example? ऐसा थोड़ी है. They have taken a gold का example also. Only in this particular chapter they are given and पाषाण का example. It's not necessary that you have to understand that knowledge through this Pashan example only. No. But they are given this another example of more also. No, this peacock. The peacock का एक दिखाया है. अभी यहाँ पे थोड़ी ना sperm का लिखा example, अपने DNA का example लिखा है. It wasn't there in the book here. I just added it. Idea क्या है? You get into the root of that. You get into that nectar, that amrut, that knowledge. What is that knowledge is? That is the self. पूरा का पूरा योग वशिष्ठ हम लोग कह देंगे ना, तो बोले अरे क्या रिपीट ही करते हैं, तो ये हर जगह पे जाकर बोलते तू आत्मा हो, वही बोलेगा वो बुक में सारी चीजें बताई है, तो अल्टीमेटली इट विल से यू आर द सेल्फ ओनली, यू आर द शिव ओनली, सेम चीज ही बताएगा. बट आइडिया इज दैट कि व्हेन वी गो थ्रू इट विद डिफरेंट एग्जांपल, इट बिकम्स वेरी, it establishes, you know, once it is established in you, that knowledge is established in you that you are that, then बात बन जाती है. अदरवाइज क्या है? Why to do अलग अलग type of pranayam? Ultimately ठीक है ना, सांस के ऊपर सांस ध्यान दो. Then why सुदर्शन क्रिया? Ultimately breath ही है, तो सुदर्शन क्रिया क्यों करनी है? कुछ तो होता है ना, फॉर्म ही है, ब्रेथ का ही फॉर्म है. प्राणायाम भी ब्रेथ का ही फॉर्म है, सुदर्शन क्रिया ही ब्रीदिंग टेक्निक ही है, बट स्टिल दोनों में फर्क तो है, बट अल्टीमेटली है तो ब्रीदिंग ही. ब्रीदिंग होने के बावजूद भी कुछ तो अंतर है, कुछ तो डिफरेंस. तो उन अंतर को जान के अल्टीमेटली उस नॉलेज को भी समझ के कि फाइनली है तो ब्रेथ ही, फाइनली है तो सेल्फ ही, उसको पकड़ो. एक एग्जांपल से समझ में आता है, ठीक है, नहीं समझ में आता है उसको भी छोड़ दो. अभी ये प्रश्न पूछना कि पाषाण का एग्जांपल ही क्यों लिया, उनको लगा उनको देना था तो दिया, हमको नहीं लगता है तो छोड़ दो उसको, दैट्स ओके. व्हाट डू यू से? And again, this is just an opinion. There could be multiple opinions. Binaji can add one opinion. Sangeeta ji can add one opinion. तो अलग अलग ओपिनियंस हम लोग दे सकते हैं. और ऐसा फॉर्मली कुछ भी बोल नहीं सकते यहाँ पे कि ऐसा ही है. अभी वशिष्ठ मुनि वो श्लोक क्यों लिखा था, उन्होंने पाषाण का एग्जांपल क्या, वो वशिष्ठ मुनि ही जाने. ये तो हम लोग बोल रहे थे कि ऐसे उन्होंने लिखा होगा, तो ये उसका रीजन हो सकता है. बट वी डोंट नो रियली. डू वी नो? वी डोंट नो. Okay. And what was the other question, Binaji? You said there are two questions that you have.
The trees and upside down and there are no roots.
Got it, got it. So basically क्या बता रहे हैं ना, हम लोग जब इसको as अर्थ की पर्सपेक्टिव से देखते हैं, तो अर्थ कैसे हम लोग यहाँ पे है. But if you see the Vishnu Loka or the Shiva Loka, they are all hanging, right? And then Patala is the down. So the one which does not have a root, because whenever you see this Kamal ka phool, it will always associated with a plant and there will be root inside. Root रहेंगे ना. But the Vishnu Loka, Shiva Loka, it doesn't have. It's hanging somewhere, something in a space. It doesn't have any root. इसके लिए उसको इस तरह से बोला है. That is just again an analogy. That something is urdhvagami, something is. It's like that Bhuloka, Patal Loka. It's just a example of the, basically they're trying to describe this universe in that Parshana Swarup. Yeah.
I think इसका मतलब ये भी हो सकता है, just I'm just guessing it out. I'm not sure. पर इसका मतलब ये भी हो सकता है कि हर एक planet का gravitational force different होता है. If scientifically we will see, no, if we'll go to the other planets, we will hang upside down, you know, because of the gravitational forces just in reverse order. So maybe they might have experienced, I'm just guessing it out, they might have experienced that I could see the trees are upside down, like on Earth it grows like that. Maybe it's in some other planets, through the meditation and all, they must have seen the hanging downwards. That may be the possibilities. I don't know.
Yes, could be. It's just an analogy that they have shown it like this, and that is because this Vishnu Loka and this, that is what is written here, which I'm sharing. It is just, it doesn't have any support, any root there. So to give that analogy, they have said it like this. So whatever the viewpoint which you have expressed, it is also one of the possibility. हो सकता है कि ऐसे हो. That is also. चलो नेक्स्ट टेक अवे के ऊपर जाए. कैन वी मूव ऑन बिना जी टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट? हाँ, इसके अलावा और हमने क्या क्या देखा? एनी अदर टेक अवेज वुड लाइक टू शेयर? यू आर वेलकम टू शेयर दैट. रमा जी, रोहिणी जी, सविता जी, एनीबडी? रमा जी यहाँ पे कहते हैं इट इज ओनली द गोल्ड, या ऑल आउटर वर्ल्ड इज रिफ्लेक्टेड ऑन द मिरर ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस. यस, दिस इज वन ब्यूटीफुल टेक अवे. संगीता जी, वुड यू लाइक टू ऐड समथिंग मोर?
Yes, I would like to add. It's like again coming to the gold, you know. So there are these two things, the gold and the bracelet. Just as we saw, one is being the reality. It's a real thing, gold. That is there, you know. And the other being the appearance of the bracelet. So these are the two things which go together. But in self, there are both of them are the consciousness. And the notion of the material, that is the inert thing, you know. Such consciousness, they say, is omnipresent, and it is ever present in the mind in which the notion arises. So it's always there. But then again and again, you see the gold. Just like as an example, we had seen, you remember, the clay and the pot. That is the best example, I'll tell you. If you say every pot is made up of that clay, without clay, there is no pot, right? But you don't want to see that thing. You just say, where is the pot? The pot has a functionality. It will have everything. You can pour water in that. You can store butter in that. Whatever you can do. But you will say, I don't want the clay. I just want the pot. So it is not different. That clay which is given the shape of a pot. Like that, Brahman is everywhere. So it is given a shape of every other thing which we see it. But ultimately, it is that clay only. Ultimately, it is that Brahman only. So there are no two things. Pot is just given as a name. But it is fully made of clay. You see up, you see down. You can pay the clay. You can feel it. You can touch also the clay. But the name is pot. So it is like that. There is no two things in that. It is just the name, the gold and the ornaments. The two things you can see, but ultimately they are one notion. So that is what it is. You are that consciousness only. Right?
Fantastic. And this very sentence, this very understanding, this very realization will transform your life completely. All the root causes of your sufferings will be removed. आप दुखी नहीं हो सकते, suffer ही नहीं कर सकते. How can one suffer? How can he said this to me, he said that to me, he did not listen to me? कहाँ पे रहेगा? ये सारी चीजें नहीं रहेगी. ये बहुत fantastic है. This is really wonderful. Just be with it, experience it. That is really, really great. Anything else? Anybody else wants to express themselves or contribute in it, they are welcome to do that. If not, then आज के इस सत्र को हम लोग यहीं पे समापन कर लेंगे. Okay, then आज के इस सत्र को यहाँ पे रोक लेते हैं. जय गुरुदेव. See you all tomorrow.
Jai Gurudev.